Yeah, what's up, y'all? I was just looking at this other thing.
Moments in history.
The crazy
Moments in history. So here are some.
What's up, y'all? We back with another one. I think y'all know how to change the YouTube name on here, or is it just stuck like that? But yeah, let's hop into this one. This is crazy interrogation moments. Like, tell it out, it's wicked out here. Trying to tell you, bro.
Some of the craziest interrogation moments of all time.
Oh, no.
Starting out with Thomas Robinson, a 27-year-old facing life in prison after shooting a 17-year-old boy. But Thomas wasn't going down easily. In fact, he was determined to make the cops' life as difficult as he could in the most dangerous ways imaginable. As the policeman moves to handcuff him, Thomas leans over and glances at the holster on the cop's waist, where he policeman moved and down facing.
Oh, no.
Starting out with Thomas Robinson.
Yo. It's some people. Man, y'all just be careful. The word wicked out here, but I keep trying to. I'm trying to. Make it wicked. Hey. Let's just watch.
A 27-year-old facing life in prison after shooting a 17-year-old boy. But Thomas wasn't going down easily. In fact, he was determined to make the cops' life as difficult as he could in the most dangerous ways imaginable. As the policeman moves to handcuff him, Thomas leans over and glances at the holster on the cop's waist, where he gets an idea that could end in death for him and the officer.
Yeah, I'm good. You couldn't get it.
Thomas made a leap for the cop's gun, but due to safety features built into the holster, he wasn't able to get it out.
Healthcare is super important for our family and our kids. We needed it when our girls were born, and we need it now.
After a short struggle, two more cops entered the room with tasers to subdue him, and he was eventually restrained without further issue. This obviously just looks like a case where the suspect wanted to escape and was prepared to do so by any means necessary. But take another listen to what he's saying as he's fighting with the cops. If he was really trying to escape, it's unlikely he'd be repeating the words "kill me" from the get-go. Instead, it's possible that Thomas was so terrified of his sentence and the position he was in that he made the radical move to scare the officers in hopes that they'd shoot him and spare him from what's to come. Bringing a firearm into an interrogation room is an incredibly foolish idea, and the majority of police departments forbid it for the safety of the detectives. But it seems this Las Vegas Police Department also forgot about that rule and come incredibly close to seeing the consequences. This man, convicted of killing a 2-year-old boy, actually managed to retrieve the gun from the detective's holster, resulting in a mad scramble to get it back off him. It took 3 separate officers and multiple punches to the head to reclaim the firearm. Somehow, nobody was hurt, but Ryan Waller wasn't so lucky, as his story ends in a truly horrifying way after he was brought in for interrogation with a bullet still stuck in his head.
You're telling me they shot you with a revolver in your eye?
Yes.
Is it a BB gun?
No, it was a real gun, man. It was just a revolver.
They shot you in the eye, you wouldn't be talking to me right now. It was most likely you'd be dead.
But little did police officers know, he was actually telling the truth. As while 18-year-old Ryan was being mocked by detectives, he was suffering from a gunshot to the head and experiencing a brain bleed that could end his life at any moment.
I just want to go back to sleep and try to go back to bed.
You're not going back to bed.
On the 23rd of December 2006, two men broke into Ryan Waller's house looking for revenge for a past argument. Ryan heard the noise at the door, but when he went to investigate, a hand reached inside and shot him twice in the eye. The two men, Richie and Larry Carver, then entered his house and shot Ryan's girlfriend Heather, killing her instantly. By some miracle, 18-year-old Ryan survived and was able to talk to police when they arrived hours later. Given he'd just been shot in the head, he told them he had no idea what happened, but instead of being taken straight to the hospital, he was taken to the police station and interrogated for the longest hour of his life.
So he just said he got shot in the head. And they took...
Before the interview started, Ryan was left in the room alone. He squirmed in pain for 20 minutes straight, and worse yet, he was handcuffed to the desk and unable to scream for help.
Man.
Ryan is obviously not okay, but the detectives begin the interrogation anyway.
You know why you're down here, Ryan? You have no idea why you're down here? Okay. I don't know what happened, okay? So I'm going to read you something to make sure you understand your rights, okay? Okay, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can't be used against you in a court of law. What's the highest grade you went through school?
I don't know. I just want to go home.
Oh, you're not going to go home right now. What's the highest grade that you completed?
B?
No, not grade, as in letter grade. I'm asking, did you graduate high school?
No.
Do you know how to read and write, Ryan?
Yeah?
The way the detective is talking to Ryan implies that he knows something is wrong. He's raising his voice slightly, slowing down, and talking in very simplified language just as you would a child. Yet even with the massive red mark around Ryan's face and the dazed responses he's giving, the detective still decides that nothing is wrong and continues questioning him.
Do you have a girlfriend? No? You know a girl named Heather?
The one that lives there right now?
I guess, I don't know. If her name's Heather, what's her last name?
I don't know which name she's trying to use as her last one. She's trying to have a real last as her nickname, so I don't know.
What nickname does she go by?
She probably wants the last name, Kyman.
Kyman? How old is Heather?
16 or 17.
What happened to your face?
I don't know.
You told the officer just a few minutes ago that someone hit you. Do you remember who hit you?
I think it was Heather.
Why would Heather hit you?
It was an accident. I forgot why.
What was an accident?
Heather's last name?
No. What was an accident?
Heather hitting me.
What happened for her to hit you in the eye like that?
She just hit me on accident. She was giving Christina a head.
She was what?
She was helping Christina with her hair or something. I don't know.
Who's Christina?
She's on the couch.
Christina's on the couch?
Ryan and Heather lived with another person whose name isn't public. There's a possibility that it's the Christina he's referring to here, but either way, nobody else was home at any point of the night of the attack. Ryan is clearly suffering traumatic brain injury, and it's astonishing that the detective isn't connecting the dots. Even if it was just blunt force like Ryan is telling him, he still should be checked out by a doctor given how he's acting. But of course, that's not how it happens. Instead, it somehow gets even more messed up.
What happened last night?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I really don't. I just want to go to sleep and go to sleep.
Who was in the house when you went to sleep?
Christina and Heather.
Christina and Heather.
Mm-hmm.
And Christina was on the couch?
Heather was.
Heather was on the couch. You told me Christina was on the couch just a minute ago.
I don't know, man. I really don't. I really don't.
Christina.
I just want to go and go to sleep, man.
Oh, Ryan, you're not going to go anywhere. Do you know what happened in your house last night?
Why, what happened?
I don't know what happened. You're all beat up. So tell me what happened.
I don't know. I just want to go to sleep, man.
There's a dead girl in your living room.
She's dead?
Yes.
Heather? The girl on the couch is dead?
I don't know if she's on the couch. She's dead.
Well, these people came over, Richie and his dad, with shoot and arrow, bow and darts. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
They hit me and her with those. That's it. And Heather wasn't there. And Eric wasn't there. It was just me and Heather.
And then what happened?
And that's it. Richie and his dad tried to break in through the back.
Richie and Dad? His dad?
Mm-hmm.
Who's Richie?
I don't know.
Well, you obviously know him. You know his name by
He used to
Richie.
live there.
Was he a roommate of yours?
He used to be.
They hit you?
Yeah.
Now it's Richie that hit you, not Heather?
No, Richie and his dad.
Why?
Because they were trying to get their stuff. I don't know why.
And they had some kind of bow and arrows?
They each had 2 revolvers and they didn't let off any shells.
Okay, you just said they had bow and arrows. Now they have revolvers?
That's what I meant. They had revolvers.
They have revolvers?
Yes.
And then what happened?
And then they shot us with those.
They shot both of you?
Yeah.
Where'd they shoot you at?
I got shot in the eye.
You got shot in the eye
I think so.
with a revolver.
I think. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Then what happened?
I don't know.
You don't know a lot, Ryan.
I don't, man. I really don't.
I'd like to see this detective try and articulate himself anywhere near as Ryan is in this situation. He's managed to recount the exact sequence of events as well as the perpetrators' names with the revolver bullet still in his brain. It does sound like an unbelievable story, and that's probably why the cop is essentially laughing at him by now. But that still doesn't excuse any part of what's going on. He's obviously distressed, in pain, and needs to go to the hospital. But he's still more than half an hour away from any form of salvation.
Ryan, why don't you tell me what really happened there? Because I don't believe.
I really don't know, man. I really don't. I don't know. I can tell you anything, I swear.
Well, I want you to tell me the truth. That's all I want from you.
Richie and his dad came there. And I don't know why. I don't know why, but they put me in sleeping hold. And, they put me in sleeping hold with the arrows and shit. I lived through that crap.
You're all over the board here, number one. You're saying bows and arrows, you're saying revolvers, and you're saying some other thing. And you're saying they shot you in the eye. Okay? They shot you with a revolver in your eye.
Yes. And that's
Is it a BB gun?
No, it was a real gun, man. It was just a
If
revolver.
they shot you in the eye with a revolver, you wouldn't be talking to me right now. It was most likely you'd be dead.
That's what I thought too, man. I really don't know. I really don't know, and I just want to go back to sleep and try to go back to bed.
You're not going back to bed. Okay? That's not going to happen. What happened to Heather?
Heather got shot
Where did she get shot?
inside the face once.
She got shot inside of the face?
Mm-hmm.
How close were you to her when she got shot in the face?
It was after I got shot, so I didn't even hear anything.
So you got shot first?
Uh-huh.
And what happened? Did you call 911?
Uh-uh.
Did you see if she was alive?
He don't even got like that.
She was sleeping still, and that's it. I just let her sleep.
She got shot in the side of the face and you let her sleep?
Yes.
Discombobulated.
This does not make sense, Ryan.
I know, I didn't mean to, man. I'm sorry. I didn't know she was passing out. That's because I got shot wrong once, too, and I was gonna pass out.
Okay, this is now, not before. You're saying right now you've been shot
Yes.
in the eye
Yes.
with the revolver.
Yes.
All right. Ryan, you need to start telling me the truth because your story doesn't make sense.
I'm trying, man. I don't know.
What happened with you and Heather last night?
Her dad came and shot the house.
And shot her.
Mm-hmm.
Her dad shot her.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then leaves.
Mm-hmm.
And what did you do?
I tried to go back to sleep.
After you've been shot
Mm-hmm.
in the eye,
Mm-hmm.
you didn't know enough to call 911.
Mm-mm.
Ryan, look at me. Ryan,
Yes. I don't know, man. I really don't
why
know.
did you shoot Heather, Ryan?
I didn't shoot Heather. She was already shot once by her brother, I swear.
Richie.
Yes.
It's 2031, and I finally qualify for Mint 55 Plus, an exclusive plan for people my
Richie shot his own sister.
Yes, I swear. That's it.
Sit down.
Not me.
And you've been shot in the eye.
Yes.
Put your legs down. Put your legs down. Bring your face closer.
Oh, my head hurts.
Okay. Yeah, be right back.
Finally, the detective at least considers the fact that Ryan might be in some form of physical distress. He leaves the room to ask for an ambulance and returns momentarily to try and get a few more details about the shooting. Ryan clarifies that Heather isn't related to Richie or his dad, and that he's got no idea why they attacked him that evening. 10 minutes later, the fire department arrives to take a look at Ryan's injury.
And he's acting like he has a serious head injury, which would make sense.
What's your name?
Confirm.
Ryan.
Yeah, we'll take them.
I don't know why.
Yeah, we can tell. Did that all? Has it been like that before, or it just happened tonight?
It's been like this for like a day or so.
So it happened what? The other night?
I don't know.
You don't know what happened. Were there guns around?
This kid Eric did it. I don't know how he did it exactly. I might have been shot. I don't know.
Ryan gets his blood pressure taken, and finally, after 56 minutes of unnecessary and ultimately deadly interrogation, he's taken to the hospital. Upon inspection at the hospital, doctors immediately realized his status was critical and that he also had indeed been shot in the eye. They also told his father that he'd contracted an infection that could have been prevented had he received proper care. Ryan stayed at the hospital for 35 days and lost part of his brain and his left eye. Worst of all, though, he experienced regular seizures from the day he left the hospital until 2016, when one finally took his life. Richie and Larry were both given life in prison without the possibility of parole. Ryan's father also sued the police department, but as is so often the case, he only received a fraction of the punishment, less than 3 years in prison. Many people believe this officer should be charged with assault and possibly even murder, and that 3 years is absolutely not enough, especially compared to cases like Reed Duran's, who's facing up to 30 years in prison after attacking a cop. Reed was arrested at an elementary school after he was seen pretending to be the father of a kindergartner. Reed was seen to be acting strangely around the kids and failed to correctly name any of the children there, so he was arrested and taken to the police station. In the interrogation, Reed freely told officers that he intended to lure one of the children out, feed them candy laced with tranquilizers, then abduct them while they were unconscious. But after what seemed like an easy interrogation, Reed suddenly decided that the detective had heard enough and made a bid for his escape.
Fine, put your unit up here. Put your hands behind your back now. Okay. You kidding me right now?
Reed had picked up a pen and attempted to stab the officer with it, but the officer's reflexes and composure helped him to instantly take him down and restrain him. That and the fact that the pen isn't the most effective weapon. Either way, Reed was arrested and charged with attempted kidnapping and now a felony count of assault. He's currently awaiting trial and facing up to 30 years in prison. Reed's escape obviously didn't end very well for him, but the story is different for Quantrell Schwarzlow, who managed to escape the cops faster than anyone in history. Quantrell was brought in for strangling a girl and assaulting her, a crime he clearly didn't want to be convicted of. Unfortunately for Quantrell, his handcuffs were a dead giveaway, and he was captured 4 hours later. While it's unknown exactly what happens to Quantrell after, this clip will forever put him in the Interrogation Hall of Fame. However, Ricky Hawthorne took a much more straightforward approach to ending his interrogation, managing to confess in record time. Ricky was found covered in blood near the bodies of Lara Kuchar and Tommy Skeens. Lara had clearly been assaulted. Ricky's DNA was also found at the scene, so police had no worries when bringing him in. Surprisingly though, Ricky would make it even easier for them.
Hey,
Hey,
come on in.
hey, yes sir.
Yeah, I did.
I was,
I did.
you know what, let's do this.
I did it, but I think somebody came behind me and finished it.
Okay.
Yeah, I did it.
So much for staying silent. However, Ricky is alleging that he wasn't actually the murderer. He just attacked the couple and assaulted Laura. It was someone else that finished the job. Even though the evidence was stacked against him, he still would have had a better chance of getting away with it if he just stayed silent.
There's 3 more.
Do y'all hear that? If you just stay silent. Just shut your mouth, man.
People. I don't know.
And you know what?
They was living when I left, but I think somebody came in behind me and finished them off. I did beat the shit out of them, but it was somebody else. I left.
Despite his claims, it was determined that the couple died of the injuries inflicted by Ricky, and he was later found guilty of the first and second-degree murder, as well as the attack on Laura.
Oh dang, that's it.
There are only a few times
But I mean, let's see what this one when the cop is.
in history where suspects managed to beat the cops at their own game. From genius fugitives to civilians who embarrassed cops so bad they had to leave, here are 5 times suspects outsmarted cops.
Promise you I'm not no damn Chris and escape.
You'd have done run by now.
Starting with the case of Joshua Lloyd, who in July of 2022 was geocaching Phoenix, Arizona. Geocaching is an activity where people hide physical containers known as caches in different places around the world, and others solve puzzles in order to find them. Joshua is currently searching on the side of a public road, but it seems somebody wasn't too happy about this.
Oh, hold on. We got the cops. They're gonna run my license plate. Morning, can I help you?
No, can we help you? Do you live here?
No, but this is public, correct?
I'm not sure on that. Could be private property.
Could be, but if there was, I do believe there would be a sign posted somewhere, right?
Not necessarily. Is that your car?
That is my car.
Okay. Well, if it is public,
I mean, I would figure it's public. You have electric access here.
is there anybody in the car?
No, just me. But if you want to go check, go ahead, go check.
Can I get your permission to do anything else?
No.
Do I need your permission?
you would need my permission to go inside the car.
No, but you just said if you want to go check if there's someone else in the car. Do I?
Oh yeah, go check and you can go look in and see if.
Go ahead. Do I need you to tell me to go ahead to do it, or can I do it on my own?
Looks like this officer isn't having a good day. At the first possible moment, he decides to start an argument out of nothing. He is right that he doesn't need permission to look inside the car, but Joshua is just trying to be polite. There's no need whatsoever for the cop to make this difficult. This little rant of his seems almost born out of insecurity, and that becomes a pattern as the footage progresses.
Well, I mean, you could do it on your own. You can do a plain view search.
Okay, good. Okay, I thought you were under the impression you had to give me permission.
I mean, would you guys like my name? I'll give you my name. You don't have to run the plate for it because my name's not on the plate.
What's your name?
My name is Josh.
Josh?
Mm-hmm.
Josh what?
Lloyd.
Hey, Phil.
Joshua Lloyd.
Huh?
Joshua.
You're not towing my car.
We may have to tow it. It's not registered to him. It's registered to a female. It's it's left on the roadway running. I'm not going to leave it here.
Oh, are you serious? Not even going to question me on who it's registered to? Would you like the insurance and registration?
No, you're not driving it. Why would I ask for that?
It seems as though this cop is trying to make everything into a bigger deal than it needs to be. Sure, it might seem odd that the car is registered to a different name next to a guy that appears to have just been staring at a wall for 30 minutes, but we know that Josh has a reasonable explanation for it, just the same as the cops would if they bothered to ask. But instead, the cop just decides that the best idea is to tow the car and call the owner, instead of just talking to the guy that's explicitly saying he can explain everything.
I'm going to try and get a hold of the owner, see if they know where the car is. Otherwise,
she'll tell you that her son-in-law has it. You're gonna let him act like that just because I'm standing over here next to a wall and you guys haven't even asked me what I'm doing. I even turned around, I gave you the thumbs up. He comes out all hard. Why? I'm not trying to catch you in anything, man. Asking a simple question.
The other cop's smirk says it all. He's well aware that his partner's behavior is unreasonable and frankly just weird, but at the same time, he can't badmouth him either.
Have you been allowed to use the car?
I live with her, yes, and I'm allowed to use the car, hence the reason why I have it.
Okay, all right, well, we're going to do some research, find out whose property that is. You got your name, your information. If it turns out that it is private property, then I'll author a report for trespassing.
I don't think it would be private property because what I was doing was a public event. So you guys never even asked me.
Listen to your statement. I don't think. That's why I'm going to find out for sure whose property.
Okay, you go ahead for sure.
Again, here's the thing. I don't need your permission to check out whose property it is, but I appreciate you giving me the go-ahead.
Can I have your name and badge number, please? Your card?
8632.
8632.
You're recording it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I have your name and badge number, please? All right. Thank you. I greatly appreciate that.
The way the second cop acts after his partner leaves is like he's brought his kid along to work, and he's telling Josh to just let him have his fun. Regardless, the first officer tells Josh that they're gonna head off and do research to make sure this isn't private property. But even if it was, it'd be incredibly hard to convict him of trespassing anyway. As you can tell from the footage, the area of land he was on is directly next to a public sidewalk, and there is no signage alluding to the fact that the grass is somehow private property. However, even if it was, because of the lack of signage, Josh would never be made aware that he shouldn't be there, meaning it's impossible to claim he knowingly entered private property, the legal definition of trespassing. But before he lets the cops go, Josh has just one more thing to say to them.
I could do some further research before you go on a property, find out.
You know.
5,000 years of Chinese music and dance in one night.
No, hold on. Before you go and give me the lecture, how about this? Before you come up all hard ass on somebody, you ask them what they're doing. You could ask me simply at the very beginning, very nicely, hey, what are you doing?
Do the research and find out whose property you're on, because you may be breaking the law.
It's public property, I can tell you that.
Stating that as a fact.
I am. I'm stating it as a fact because I like fucking with you guys.
Well, now you're using more profanity.
I can use profanity. It's the First Amendment.
No, you can't.
It's the First Amendment. You cannot restrict my speech. I can use it to emphasize my sentences. One man's curse word is another man's lyric.
Josh articulates everything perfectly and, of course, is perfectly correct. Throughout this entire interaction, he provided everything the cops asked for and more, remained polite throughout most of the conversation, and most importantly, knew the law down to a T. But with all of that said, he was still treated badly by this cop who frankly had no idea what he was talking about. He's completely right to explain his free speech rights too. But to explain this further, let's take a look at the case of Tom, a teenager who managed to totally school 2 cops when he was pulled over by cops who also had no idea what the law was.
You f***ing idiot.
This man was walking down the side of a road when a police officer passed him. As they drove by, the man flipped him off, breaking no laws in doing so. But the cops still got personally offended and decided to do this.
Why you giving me the finger? What? What's your problem? What? Why you giving me the finger? I'm walking away. Huh? Am I free to go? Why you giving me the finger? Am I free to go? No. Come here. For what reason?
The man who we'll call Tom gets pulled over for allegedly flipping off an officer. Immediately after talking with the officer, Tom asks if he's free to go, and if he's not, why he's being detained. Predictably, the officer isn't able to give a great response to either of these completely valid questions.
What's your problem? Am I free to go? No. What, do you have a problem? No. Do you have a problem? No. You don't have a problem, then I can leave. Why are you giving me the finger when you're walking? Huh? Come here. I'm free to go. No, you're not.
No, I ain't gonna lie. It be sometimes though when you really just minding your business and you doing everything not like to bother them and they just keep edging you down, like it make you snap.
Get over here. Why? Because. Is that a lawful order? Yeah. For what reason? Because you're giving me the finger. That's legal. No, it isn't. Says who? What's the law? What's your name? What's your name? How old are you?
Conveniently, it isn't difficult to find the law on this one. Perhaps unsurprisingly, contempt of cop or police disrespect is an incredibly common catalyst for unlawful arrest. However, it's very easy to prove that swearing or gesturing at a cop in a non-threatening way is completely legal across the US. Freedom of speech is of course protected under the First Amendment right, and courts have concluded that giving the finger counts as protected speech. In fact, in 2006, a case was opened against a man in a very similar position, and the court explicitly stated that directing the middle finger at an officer is protected expression under the First Amendment, meaning that Tom is well within his rights to flip the officer off. But unfortunately, the situation begins to escalate, and even more words are exchanged.
Have a good one. Please. Fucking pig. Whatever. Fuck you. What? You heard me. Come here. I'm afraid of you. Come here. Get over here. What? Get over here. I'm not doing anything illegal. Yeah, you are. You just cursed me off. That's not a crime. Yes, it is. Says who? Says me. Turn around. Come on. Bro, that is not a fucking crime. Yes, it is. Why are you cursing me? It's not a crime. What's your name? It's not a crime. What's your name? Help! Help! No help. Help!
At this point, the officer turns off his body camera, which on top of being illegal, definitely isn't the best thing to do as you're handling a civilian who's screaming for help. This time, the cop cites Tom's more recent expletives as the reason for arrest, but once again, Tom is completely allowed to say what he said. The law says the only words not protected by the First Amendment are fighting words intended to incite an immediate breach of peace. Or, in short, words that directly threaten someone, or imply that the speaker is going to physically attack someone. Obviously, what Tom said falls into neither of these categories, and as backup arrives, the cop starts to realize that he might be in the wrong.
You're being detained because you're acting strange. What? That's not legal.
It is legal. He's allowed to detain you until he performs his investigation.
So what am I doing though? What am I doing that made him detain me? What legal right?
Every time I rode by him twice, he shot me the finger. So I turned around and said, well, you're
Is that a crime?
Problem. And then he tells me to...
No, that's not a crime.
F off, pig.
Yeah, fuck off, pig. That's not a crime. He's looking at you because he's like, what the fuck you want me to do? Because it's not a crime. I know my rights. I don't have to say any of that.
You do if you're being detained.
For what reason? What legal reason am I being detained for?
Where are you coming from and where are you...
What legal reason am I being detained for? I need to know that. Legally, I need to know that.
Now the officers are telling Tom that he's legally required to identify himself now that he's being detained, despite not being able to provide a reason for his detention. While this is often correct during an arrest, in New Jersey, a person being detained not suspected of committing a motor vehicle offense can refuse to give ID. But the cops are still way behind on this. Now they can't even figure out why they're detaining him.
Why are you
shooting me the finger?
Why are you...
Is that illegal?
Why are you flipping the bird? Yes, it is. It's causing a public disturbance and a public alarm if you are cursing
so
in public.
So a single one.
So when you are cursing in public, you are causing a public disturbance. You're being a nuisance to the public.
I'd like to see you guys prove it in court.
What he is doing is he's not saying you're being charged with anything. At that point, he is detaining you to make sure that there is nothing wrong.
Make sure you're okay.
Make sure that you're okay.
What reason does he need to detain me?
He thought maybe he thought you were signaling him down. I'm not sure.
You knew very well that I wasn't signaling to you, right? I wasn't signaling. Well, you bring attention to yourself. That's not signaling. You're acting strange. I'm making sure you're okay.
The officers are desperately trying to make excuses now, and now seem to be claiming that this is a welfare check, and Tom's middle finger was a signal for help. Luckily, a case closed in 2013 explored this very same matter. A cop observed a man giving him the finger and pulled him over, stating he thought he was trying to get his attention and was concerned. But the court eventually ruled that, quote, "This ancient gesture of insult is not the basis for a reasonable suspicion of a traffic violation of impending criminal activity." So with this in mind, it's extremely likely that the court would decide that the cop was lying here as well, even without the body cam footage. But the best part of this entire investigation is watching the officer's face as he tries to escape the hole he's dug for himself.
Cursing and using vulgar gestures is causing a public disturbance.
What's the First Amendment for?
The First Amendment is for your freedom of speech. Okay. What does that have to do with
Was I making a
gestures?
call to action? Was I making a call to action? Was I like threatening you in any way? Did I threaten you?
Do you understand?
You know what a call to action is?
Do you understand that you're acting?
Is that a call to action? Am I calling for an action to be done against you? No.
Do you understand that it is? Listen. It's behavior that's out of the ordinary.
From was it?
So what were you doing?
Well, I want to know from your perspective. What was I doing?
I pulled up both the scenes, so you tell me what you were doing.
I plead the fifth. You fucking idiot.
What has now turned into an argument lasts for a few more minutes before Tom finally gives in and hands his ID over and is told he's free to leave. Remember, he was not legally required to identify himself, but that was the only thing that got the officers to let him go. Tom also informed the officers that he intended to pursue legal action, but very little information about this is publicly available, or the fates of these horrifyingly corrupt officers. Both of these cases have featured people who knew the law perfectly and managed to defend their own rights from corrupt officers. But let's flip the perspective quickly and look at criminals who were so smart, they managed to escape the cops with crafty techniques and street smarts. One such case is that of Quantrell Schwarzlow, who managed to outsmart cops by escaping custody in just seconds. Quantrell was brought in for strangling a girl and assaulting her, a crime he clearly didn't want to be convicted of.
At Harbor Freight, we do business differently from the other guys. We design and test our own tools and sell them.
Oh, no!
Unfortunately for Quantrell, his handcuffs were a dead giveaway, and he was captured 4 hours later. Of course, this isn't the only example of suspects escaping police custody. In fact, Richard McNair's escape plan was so smart, he managed to stay out of jail for 18 months, but not without an extremely close call. Richard was originally arrested for the shooting of 2 men after he was caught robbing a house in North Dakota. One was badly injured, and the other died at the scene. Richard was given 3 life sentences for this, but he had absolutely no intention of sticking around for any of this. In 2006, he managed to escape from the prison by burying himself in a pile of mail and being carried straight out the door. But just hours later, he was stopped by police while jogging away from the prison.
You live around here, bud? No. Where you live at?
Down the road by Pineville.
Pineville?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Do you have any form of identification on you?
No, man.
What's your name?
Robert Jones.
Richard appears calm, cool, and collected while talking to the cop, and gives the innocent alias of Robert Jones, stating that he's just out jogging around where he's stationed for work.
That's not the problem right now. What's your address?
I don't have an address. I'm at the hotel. We're working on houses and stuff like that, the roofing.
What is? We got an escapee.
Oh, shit. Where from?
Prison.
There's a prison here?
Richard must think that the jig is up, but he manages to stay calm and play it cool. He gives a simple, neutral response and keeps his stance on the loose to avoid looking uneasy. The cop then radios in for a detailed description of the fugitive and attempts to match it up to Richard.
How old is your guy? You're how old?
50. I was born in 56.
He was born in 56. 58. What color you got?
Green. Well, kind of a turquoise blue.
Turquoise blue.
Most people in this situation would be getting restless and giving short, closed-off responses because of nerves. But Richard somehow manages to give full answers to everything and even jokes with the officer. He's slowly trying to convince him that he's just a normal guy and that he's absolutely not hiding anything.
You know the bad thing about it?
What's that?
You'll match it up to him.
Well, that sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I don't even know the address. We just got into town about a week ago, and he dropped me off to jog. I always jog about 12 miles a day.
Where'd he drop you off at?
Up there on that road by, there's some construction going on up there, some houses. And he dropped me off. He'll be back to the hotel in about probably 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Where are you from?
We're originally Dallas, Texas.
What's your name again?
Jimmy Jones.
This should have been it for Richard. He gives a completely different name to his original alias, but the cop somehow completely missed it and carries on regardless.
Put yourself in my position. Where's y'all's motel at?
Okay, Walmart's right there. Go right at Walmart, and there's a road, 165, that goes south. Little old tiny hotel. I mean, it's clean, but it's family owned.
Little old tiny hotel.
Yeah, you know, like a motel deal. You park up there. I promise you, I'm not no damn prison escapee.
You'd have done run by now. You know that yourself. Did you see anybody or anything?
There's some kids up there playing. I'm sorry to have to hold you up, but...
Hey, no, I'm just doing my job, man.
I know you are. Can you write down your phone number, your cell phone number, so I can have whoever call you?
Just call 911 is all you got to do, and they'll get a hold of us.
All righty.
That's our quick line there.
You have a good day now.
Be careful, buddy.
Thank you.
All right.
This was the last time Richard McNair was seen for 18 months. During his time on the run, he traveled using stolen cars and supplies from Louisiana all the way up to Canada, where apparently he almost bought a property and attempted to settle down. In October of 2007, Richard was finally caught and apprehended in New Brunswick after he was identified driving a stolen vehicle miles from where it was last reported. Despite quite literally being a murderer, Richard did play this incredible.
He was supposed to, like, at that point, you were supposed to get you a girl, dog, get you a girlfriend or something, and I don't know how she would have felt about what happened. But I mean, you're already lying, so you could have just got you a girlfriend and just lived a whole another life, like, without having to keep taking cars and all that, and just move in.
Well, and simply outsmarted the cop and all the others on his tail for a year and a half. This cop must have been humiliated, but not as much as the unfortunate officer who had a run-in with Joel Delgado, who had his escape planned for days before it actually took place. Joel had been arrested on a myriad of charges, including drug trafficking and shooting his girlfriend, and was looking to go away for a long time. But after his most recent arrest, he told police that he'd been badly injured, so was taken to court in a wheelchair. This is why police were extremely shocked when this happened.
I'm gonna catch you, baby. I'm gonna shoot your.
For someone confined to a wheelchair, Joel sure can run, as just seconds after escaping, he completely disappeared.
Nah, which way you go?
Went straight through the alley and cut that way.
What's your phone? My damn radio came out.
Hold on. Damn, if I try to come behind you and get him.
I don't know where he went. Hey, Hook. The wheelchair dude got up and ran. Yeah.
I couldn't catch his ass. In my video, I had my camera on though. The wheelchair dude. I couldn't catch him. Hell, Tim's had pulled off. Yeah. I can't even remember his name. He on the run. All right. Hey, he took off, man. The wheelchair dude ran. He had a neck brace on and all that shit.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Didn't need that wheelchair very much, did he?
Hell no.
Unfortunately for Joel, his freedom was short-lived, as just a few hours later, he was caught and arrested once more, gaining nothing other than a count of felony escape to add to the list. It could be argued these last few cops had a simple lapse in judgment or simply got beaten in the moment. But Mac Proctor proved that this cop had no idea what he was doing in the first place, all by knowing the law and standing his ground. Mac was parked in a private parking lot waiting for a takeout order while on his shift as a delivery driver. While his vehicle wasn't in a designated parking spot, it wasn't blocking the flow of traffic, and he'd only left it there unattended while picking up his food. Upon returning to his vehicle, Mac was approached by a police officer stating he was violating parking rules.
All right, Mr. Proctor. That is your last name. Everything okay?
Do I need to answer any of your questions?
You don't have to answer anything, dude.
Okay.
You don't have to. Lucky you stand here all day. I get paid either way.
Can you go ahead and finish your job so I can carry on?
What's it with the anger, dude?
I'm not angry.
You're not angry? You always talk to everybody like that?
I'm not angry.
Oh, okay.
I just want you to go ahead and wrap things up, please.
Oh, okay.
Of course, Mac has every right to stay silent in the face of the officer's questions, especially ones that don't at all pertain to criminal proceedings. At no point did he raise his tone or say anything out of line, yet the officer asks why he's being so angry. Many people think that some police officers are used to consistently being in command and control on these interactions, and it's possible the same is true with this officer. When Mac exercised his rights and just asked for things to be moved along, this cop was surprised and took it as a combative statement.
All right, well, I'll give you a break on it, but you know what I'm saying? This isn't a parking spot, okay, dude?
You're not giving me a break. You're harassing me at this point. I'd like to leave. May I leave now, please?
Well, do you understand?
Am I being detained?
Yes, you are.
Okay.
All right. So do you understand why I stopped you?
Do I need to answer any more of your questions?
You don't have to.
Okay.
The officer informs Mac that he is being detained for parking here. To issue a citation for parking violation, you must be breaking either local, state, or federal law. Something like parking in a handicap spot without proper documentation.
Hey, Mr. Proctor, can I just give you your stuff so you can leave?
Can you?
I can, but you're the one. I would have let you go a long time ago.
What do I need to do for you to hand me my documents so I can leave?
I'll give it to you right now. I just want to know that, that you're okay, because usually I don't get people all this.
What do I need to do for you to hand me my documents so I can be on my way?
You're okay.
I don't need to answer any of your questions.
Hey, there we go again. Jesus Christ. I'm trying to say that...
You're trying to display your power to me right now.
I'm concerned about it. Is there a problem to be concerned about another human being?
You have no reason to be concerned about me.
So it's okay then. You're okay then.
You can hand me my documents and I can be on my way, or we can...
Okay. You're not gonna... Okay, here, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna take a chance on you, all right? Here. Mr. Proctor, you're right. Everything's cool, all right? We're blocking traffic. Here, your stuff.
Mac was allowed to leave without further incident, but this interaction raises questions about why he was met with further difficulties after doing nothing other than exercising his Fifth Amendment right. In fact, it's strange that the entire interaction even happened in the first place. If the officer had observed Mac's vehicle obstructing traffic, the incident could have been avoided by simply asking him to move his vehicle out of the way and let him go about his day from there. Instead, the officer detained Mac, preventing him from moving his vehicle and keeping it in the very place that's allegedly impeding traffic flow. The cop later found out that Mac wasn't even a federal agent or officer himself, and simply managed to prove just how valuable it is to know the law.
That's crazy, right?
Big ideas.
But alright, yeah, that's a
Where do you live at? Where do you live?
I'm just gonna keep playing. Alright, y'all let me know if it's some more. I'm about to go probably grab me some food or something. Catch y'all on the next one. Don't forget let me know what's up.